The pictures alone would seemingly tell an exceedingly dramatic story. Stretcher after stretcher carrying bandaged, braced, and strapped down patients to a long line of awaiting ambulances. Luckily, that video is about as bad as things got. The full story is this. A PATH train carrying dozens of passengers overshot the platform and crashed into the terminal rail barrier at the Hoboken station. It crumpled the concrete and knocked down guard bars. The impact sent riders to the ground and injured about 34. All of whom only had minor cuts, bruises, and a few broken bones, according to officials.
Big sound, everybody fell down.
Nita Pandy and her daughter Jessica were on the first car of the train. Both were slightly bumped around, and both were quickly released from the Hoboken University Medical Center a few hours later.
That moment is I just hold my daughter because I'm worried about her.
I saw everyone going on the floor, and they were like, what happened? And a big sound came out of the train. And everyone went out, and some smoke came out of the train, and it was hard to see some people.
Still wearing her triage tag, Anita Sarkar walked out of the emergency room at the same time as the Pandys. She only slightly worse for wear, a sore shoulder and arm. Sarkar was sporting a sling.
I had lots of pain, but he said take medicine.
The crash happened around 8:30 Sunday morning, and the cause is still being investigated, but police on scene initially blamed a mechanical failure.
The flames started on the roof of the signal room for the F and Q trains at the West 8th Street station across from the New York Aquarium. Diane Berger lives across the street, saw the smoke and snapped pictures and worried.
I just hope everybody's safe and everybody's okay, and they put the fire out and get those trains running.
No one was hurt, but the fire created a challenge. The FDNY had to use foam instead of water because there was still powerful electrical current running along the tracks. The MTA redirected riders to D and N trains at Stillwell Avenue, but families already on their way to the amusement park had to react and scramble.
My son said, "Ma, I smell fire." I said, "It's not a problem." They made an announcement that there was a track fire, so we had to get off the tracks. We had to get off the train and take a $12 cab all the way here.
For those leaving Coney Island, the fire and transit delays added to the already long ride for parents like Katie Ritz.
We got to get these guys to bed, so we're going to try to head home as quickly as possible.
And just hours earlier, uptown, a different element confused the commute for thousands. A Con Edison water main broke at 152nd Street and St. Nicholas. More than 100 families lost water, and about 5,000 families may not have gas to cook with for days, maybe even weeks. And here at Coney Island, the fireworks people expected to see went off even after the fire they never expected was out. The question now is just how long the transit service around here is going to be disrupted. Reporting from Coney Island, Andrew Siff, News 4 New York.
It's going to take more than a machete to get Freehold Township residents on Vogt Avenue out of these woods.
What usually is in the air is now all down on the ground and on top of everybody's house.
Not a good way to start the day, but we'll get through it. Could be worse.
Several blocks of this street were literally uprooted as trees over 100 years old were brought down, and along with them, several power poles.
Every single telephone pole is snapped off.
It looks worse than a jungle. It looks like somebody dropped a bomb.
Lionel Ramsey took cover inside when the storm swept in shortly after 10 Saturday night. While Mother Nature caused a state of emergency here, Ramsey says the town could have done more to prepare.
The city seen that the trees should have been cut back. Poles should have been replaced. You know, people paying these high taxes, they're not getting anything out of their money.
Town hall phone lines went unanswered Sunday afternoon as utility crews instead fielded many of these unanswered questions.
And trees are down, sidewalks up, the whole 9 yards.
So how long could it take before power is restored to the street? Well, according to power crews we spoke with, it could take several weeks. And the main reason, these trees are now permanent fixtures here on the street. They first need to be cut down before the power infrastructure can be replaced.
They have to redo everything from scratch.
By the grace of God, we're lucky that no one got, seriously injured, killed.
For now, these residents will have to deal with a web of power lines and tree limbs. In Freehold Township, Jonathan Bigliotti, News 4, New York.
As the bells tolled 8, not even 12 hours after Paterno's death, a hush fell over this crowd of thousands, mostly appearing to be students, many in tears.
Joe Paterno has done so much for our university as a whole that this is the least that we could do for him.
I can't explain how much he means to me as a coach. He shaped me into the man that I am today.
Players present and past offered their testimonials to the man who came from Brooklyn to spend 6 decades at this school, 46 as the winningest head coach in Division I history.
He's really the only person that gave me an opportunity to play football.
But as much as Paterno meant to these students, there was the dark cloud of the Jerry Sandusky sex scandal hanging over this campus and the way Paterno handled it years ago.
He did make wrong decisions. He did maybe fail to make right decisions, like the rest of us do. And like the rest of us do, he's done things in his life that require forgiveness.
Sing our love and loyalty.
The thousands swayed to State's alma mater, and moments later, candles were lit, and we saw a sea of light. And then they marched. Grad students, seniors, and even freshmen who only knew the legend growing up, in the case of one freshman from a grandfather who attended State.
Regardless of the fact that I'm just starting here, I've been here, you know, my spirit's been here for a very long time.
So thank you, Coach. We are.
Just take the regular off the small tank, put it on the big tank, and then it'll last longer.
When the power goes out, some families literally count every breath.
I've got somebody on oxygen. What do I do?
Betty Reef and her 83-year-old mother Winnie are among hundreds of Toms River residents without power. And like many families with seniors, medical issues are adding to the anxiety.
This is the oxygen machine that she normally uses.
With no source of energy, Reef's mother now uses a manual tank, which is running near empty after 12 hours.
Worst case, if I had to, I would take her to the hospital. I mean, I'm not crazy. She needs the oxygen.
Reeve spent Sunday not only calling the hospital and power company, but also using her cell phone and Twitter to negotiate affordable backup medical care.
Patty Simpson from work said, I have power. If you need to come over, you're welcome.
The power went out Saturday night around 7 after a storm ripped through Monmouth and Ocean counties. 75-mile-an-hour winds downed trees and power lines. By mid-afternoon Sunday, the power was still out, but some hope did arrive.
Who is it? It's oxygen. Oh, good.
A private medical company delivering backup oxygen.
Look who we got. We have oxygen.
It's a huge relief and a big enough supply to weather the aftermath of the storm. Utility companies expect the power to be fully restored by Sunday night. In Toms River, Jonathan Vigliotti, News 4 New York.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's have a parade!
An 85-year-old tradition takes flight as millions on the ground look up in awe.
This is amazing. The floats are bigger in real life. The celebrities are here. It's just amazing.
Rachel Kane drove with her family all the way from Ohio. She's joined by 3.5 million other people who turned up early this morning for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Happy Thanksgiving! Confetti all around. Everybody's really happy. We're having a great time.
We came here with the boys around 7 and we're having a great time. It's a beautiful day.
Happy Thanksgiving, New York!
Crowds here were entertained by thousands of cheerleaders, marching bands, and colorful clowns.
Of course, the main attraction at this year's parade, the giant balloons, 15 of them, including Buzz Lightyear, animated this year's parade.
The redesigned Sonic the Hedgehog and Julius the Monkey were this year's newcomers. 1,800 volunteers helped give them life. It's a Thanksgiving tradition for many.
The atmosphere of the holiday, it's just a blast. You couldn't ask for anything better than this.
Celebrities also lent their talents. Avril Lavigne had a front row seat on Tom Turkey.
I've never been on a moving float singing before, so I dressed really warm, and I'm excited.
Perhaps the biggest celebrity of them all, though, Santa Claus. While he ended the parade, he officially marks the beginning of the holiday season.
American tradition, colorful, joyful.
In Manhattan, Jonathan Vigliotti, News 4 New York.
Rock and roll, folks. Hey,
thank you, brother. Have a good one.
You got it. Be careful. Stay safe. Safety first, all right?
Without the cars, I mean, it's just great. I mean, the kids come out, the whole family come out.
I mean, that's the best you can have, man.
You work for Bloomingdale's.
I need somebody.
One more.
DOT, Department of Transportation.
I think we have 4 more miles left. Okay, perfect. As a runner, you're always starting and stopping when there's traffic and people around you, so it's great just to have the city to yourself.
Free water fountains right over here.
Ride smart. Use a helmet.
Now, this is the way you wear this. Straight on your head. Now we're going to snap it. Okay, just like that.
Don't worry, yeah.
A little too hectic with the kids. Usually we ride in the park, so this is really great that we get the whole Park Avenue to ourselves.
5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1.
Shut it down. Shut it down, Eddie. That's the way it is. Sorry, guys. You can spend some time with me a little bit, just a few minutes.
The stars are out and a record audience in attendance for New York City's largest production of the year. Over 1 million people filled this world stage to count down the final minutes of 2011 and usher in 2012.
I came all the way from Egypt.
Tell me about your friends.
This came from all the way from Iran, all the way from Brazil.
Everything's amazing. It's everything I wanted it to be.
Jessica Rojas from Tampa was one of the first revelers to arrive at 4 a.m. this morning.
We were the first ones, but we were all the way in the middle, and then we had to migrate, and we ended up getting lucky.
Pitbull joined performers like Lady Gaga and Justin Bieber in entertaining this crowd and the over 1 billion people watching on TV. As event coordinators throw this party, the NYPD works around the clock tonight to secure it. Over 1,500 officers are here in Times Square, blocking off these crowds to make sure all the focus tonight is on that crystal ball. Officers Robert and Vanessa Garland will be among those kissing when the ball drops. It's the 4th time this husband and wife have worked together around this night.
With all these people, all the lights, we get to watch the ball and we get to be together, so it's nice.
It's a great experience. It really is.
2011 has been a mix of emotions for revelers. It was a year hard hit by hurricanes, a tsunami, and financial insecurities. Still, as 2011 passes, this crowd looks to the future, counting down the seconds with resolutions for 2012.